you can definitely see the Christine influence in this scene. I mean, even down to the truck, you know? She's getting killed by an automobile. But the one that's been on Myers' head, maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments. Wow, what a fucking scene. Jesus. No wonder I love this movie. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Time to get the controversy going. Time to get another DWatch going. What's up, guys? I haven't done a DWatch in freaking ages. And I've done Halloween 2018. I've done Halloween Kills. And I think I did one with both of them. So I've done like a couple of DWatches for both those movies. So today, we're gonna do Halloween Ends. I'm excited. I need to get some food in me though, okay? I went for a nice run this morning. Probably did like maybe an 8K or something like that. On Sundays, I like to go for a nice long run. It's Sunday. So, been sitting around, took me a shower, doing some YouTube work, just dropped my Barbie review. And yeah. We're going to be doing some shout outs, but I'm going to do shout outs a little differently this time. We'll get there. We'll get there. But first, let me run to Zaxby's and get me some freaking wings because I'm starving. That way I can sit down and just enjoy this movie with you guys, and we'll be talking through it. It's going to be really fun. All right, guys? DWatch, Halloween Ends. Let's go. So this is what a DWatch is all about, all right? It's not just me doing a commentary. It's not just me reviewing a movie. It's kind of a vlog while I'm watching a movie and doing whatever else around the movie, like going to get chicken wings. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to get chicken wings. Oh my God, let me crank up my car. I'm not going to show you the inside of the car because it's really dirty because I'm a maintenance repairman, and maintenance guys, we get our cars really dirty, okay? It's not crazy dirty, but I'm embarrassed of it and I don't want to show it. There's a little bit of it, I guess, okay? But the back is, you know what? I'll show you, let me show you the back. Let me show you what a maintenance repairman's car looks like, okay? Hold on. Right there. There's Delilah's stroller, but yeah, tools, maybe some water, you know, maybe an umbrella because we're in Florida, but yeah, the back, that's my property, okay? And yeah, just a lot of junk. All right, leaving Zaxby's right now. I just got my my Zaxby's. There you go. Good stuff. Starving. Can't wait to get home. Gonna have that. Maybe I should stop by and get me a Monster too. I don't know. I like I'll have my phone up here and I'll watch like YouTube videos while I'm on my way to work. And I just dropped my Barbie review. It was like a DD Live clip. I wanted to get my thoughts out about that movie. And I just rewatched it back just to see what I was saying, because sometimes when you're in the moment you don't realize. And I'm like, I got done, I was like, I might get in trouble for that. But you know, it's just my honest opinion. So sometimes you can, let's just say that comment section, it's going to be interesting. All right, it's going to be really interesting. But you know, sometimes you got to crack some eggs, right? That's okay when you got to get your opinion out there. So anyway, yeah, heading home, and then we'll get the Halloween Ends going. All right, here we go. We are getting started. Let me turn this down just a notch. If you remember the opening Universal logos in Kills in 2018, they had this really dramatic music. I actually love the music. So going into this movie, I was expecting that again, but I was curious, like maybe because it's the third movie, and I'd already heard these rumors about a character named Corey and all that. Are they going to change everything around, including the music? And sure enough, they did. They start off with this like radio DJ intro, which is interesting. And guys, keep in mind too, I was open for anything going into this movie because that's going to be the big debate. And I can tell you right now, some of you, probably most of you that hate this movie, I'm not going to change your mind. You're going to hate this movie. At least for now, for the time being. I think maybe down the line, even some of you might start coming around to it, kind of like what happened to Halloween 3. But, you know, only time will tell. And again, I'm not here to try to convince you that you're wrong and I'm right. You know, movies are an emotional thing, right? And they affect us in different ways. So, but right off the bat, I love this intro. how unique it is. Completely different. And not knowing where this thing's gonna go. Where is Michael Myers? We know that it's, I think it starts 2 years, because it was 2 years after the events of Halloween Kills when Corey had this event happen. I was hooked immediately. I was so curious, like, because you feel like in this intro, kind of like a Scream type intro, you feel like something's gonna go bad, all right? They're planting little clues along the way, the knife is missing. So part of you's wondering, is Myers walking around that house? That's a possibility. But then there's that other half that's like, maybe, I don't think it's that. I think there's something else, something tragic that's going to happen. And that was part of the fun of this opening scene. It was just waiting for that tragedy to unveil. So right away, I love the opening to Halloween Ends. It's a great freaking opening. And by the way, guys, we're going to be talking about some of your counterpoints along the way. And some of you are right, but I still ended up liking it, maybe for the reasons you didn't. I don't know. So it's going to be fun discussing that type of stuff. And also, be sure you subscribe to my Drumdums Extra Second channel, because I'm posting a picture from this very DWatch on there. And whoever comments below, I'm going to give them a shout out during this thing, okay? Never done it that way before. I usually do it by like Twitter or Instagram or Killer Flicks. Today, it's going to be a YouTube exclusive type thing, okay? You can get a shout out on YouTube, but make sure you are subscribed to Drumdums Extra. And if you're seeing this now, obviously you're going to see this after the fact. But I'm going to post something on my YouTube community page. Are you confused? Yeah. Love this intro, though. We're going to have a good time tonight. Oh, God, the Zaxby's taste so good, guys. Got Levi hanging here with me, as usual. Got my stool set up. Got my second camera. Usually I just use this camera right here. But, remember back in the early days of DWatches, I used to have 2 cameras out. And so, I figured I'd go back and try this, to be able to just kind of sit there stationary and talk about the movie like we did at the intro. Yeah, this is that moment where, I think there's a good build of tension going on here, because it's involving a little child, And can you imagine, you are a babysitter and you're a guy babysitter. Nobody ever talks about that, but that's kind of an issue too. If you're a guy babysitting a little kid, maybe that adds to the pressure and the judgment, Not to say that a female babysitter wouldn't have struggles after this, but I think it's even worse if it's a guy. And that's something that we could probably discuss in the comments. But it is interesting that Corey, and he's not even like, babysitting isn't usually his gig. All right, so can you imagine that? I think this might be the first time he's ever babysat, and then this terrible tragedy happens. And we're about to see it here in just a sec. Here we go. Oof. I remember everybody in the theater completely flipping out when that happened. Like, whoa, that's a beginning of a movie right there. To me, I think that intro is what caused this movie to be so great for me. Because I knew that from this point on, oh my God, I love it already. I knew from this point on, this movie could go anywhere, all right? And I think a big thing we're gonna discuss throughout this DWatch is expectations. And I think expectations is what got in the way of enjoyment for a lot of people. I think people went into this movie wanting a certain type of close to this chapter, this trilogy. And a lot of people blame the trailers, but I don't know, trailers only get me halfway there. You don't want a trailer to tell you, what's gonna happen, especially when there's surprises like this. I knew that even before, I knew some of the behind the scenes nuggets. I knew this is the closeout of a trilogy. David Gordon Green really kind of flipped things on their head a little bit in Kills, making it like the ultimate slasher, adding that misdirection angle. So after that, I was like, he could go anywhere with this movie. And by God, that score, guys, this score is just absolutely insane. So freaking good. We're gonna go up to the Evil Lair, and I have all 3 scores on vinyl. And this might be my favorite. I think it is my favorite. It's just it's different, you know? It's more, I think it's even more atmospheric. Love that. How it's going into the pumpkin. Yeah. Get ready for a wild ride, guys. There is our first look at the Corey mask. If they, well, I tell you, if they wanted to make this sort of a spin-off and go further, I mean, you already got your mask in place right there, you know. And I wouldn't have been mad at it. Not to say that I don't want Myers to come back. You know, I mean, you could do like a whole spin-off series and then still have like a reboot of, you know, Myers. Who knows? But man, I just love the vibe of this movie compared to the previous two. It feels a little shinier. Even the character, like down to like Allison. I think this was more Allison's movie than the previous two. I mean, she definitely got more space to shine in kills, but in this one, it's like they're focusing more on Allison's sexy side. You know, she's trying to move on with her life just as Laurie is. And, you know, she's trying to meet someone. And there's a connection between her and Corey, and I think she realizes it almost immediately. And I think it's because they both have had similar struggles, just in different ways, you know? But, man, the cinematography in this movie is gorgeous, too. Just a beautiful looking movie. And, you know what? Talking about Rowan Campbell, this poor kid, because if this were just a separate movie and not a Halloween movie, I think more people would have loved the guy, because I think he's a great actor. I think he's very charismatic. I don't think he's annoying at all. He doesn't, you know, whine or you know, or complain or anything. You know, I guess comparing him to like Anakin, there was a lot of complaints about Hayden Christensen whining and complaining throughout that trilogy, but Rowan Campbell doesn't really do that, you know? He's just kind of a victim of circumstance, and he's just trying to deal with it in the best way he can. Man, I love the direction. David Gordon Green, just the way he handled the shots in this movie, and how this scene right here, it kind of dissolves into, you know, this punk rock music, and then it dissolves into just like more atmospheric. Yeah, but Corey, you know, like this is a moment in his life where things start picking up a little bit. And then all of a sudden it's like a brick in the face. He's got to run right back into a reminder of what happened, you know? And just in this case right here, he runs into the mother. Now you could probably argue, and I would say you're right, why in the hell wouldn't he just move out of Haddonfield? But you know, when you're young and you don't have any money, it's probably not that easy. But I wouldn't say you're wrong. I definitely think he probably should have gotten the hell out of Haddonfield. Okay, big moment right here. This is the transference. Corey, he just fell off the bridge. The assholes, they pushed him off the bridge. And we saw Michael slide him into the... Here we go, right here. Man, it's kind of dark because I'm doing this during the day, and I apologize, but I love this scene. Love the music. I love how it plays out. Now, there is an alternate take of it on the 4K. Oh, I love this scene right here, this part. That scene right there looks like The Crow. When he's in the culvert and the camera's kind of like spinning. Really creative choice. We've never seen anything like this before. Oh my God. And I know that it's controversial, and I know that some people aren't going to like it at all, but man, I was just so into this story as it was going, and it just never let up, you know? So now he has the evil in him. And it's kind of a different situation. Let me mute it. Now, it's kind of a different situation because Myers, when he was infected with the evil, he was 6. Whereas Corey, he is, I think he's 21, you know? Which is when Myers broke out of Smith's Grove. But the evil had been festering in Myers for all those years. So when the evil enters Corey, he still has his normal psyche that the evil is kind of battling with. And it's one of those things, like I just watched Nightmare 2 when, the other night. And when Jesse's girlfriend, she keeps trying to, you know, telling Jesse to fight it. Fight off because Freddy was taking over Jesse. So kind of the same type of situation here, but Corey didn't really have anybody there for him to try to help him fight it. You know, Allison didn't really know. He wasn't going to tell her, you know, because then she'd dump him like a bad habit. This moment right here, too, when he's looking in the mirror, for a second, you can see the evil is looking at itself, you know? Like what is this new body that I have, right? So, and everything makes sense along the way if you just think about it, right? Think about the idea that evil is taking over good, or just, you know, a vulnerability or a weakness. And everything kind of circles around that. You know, this movie's not about Michael Myers, it's about evil, and Michael Myers happens to be a very important part of the movie. Because you need him to transfer the evil. And I actually love Myers in this movie, how he's used, you know, because he's been this indestructible force throughout every single one of the movies. And so it's kind of cool to watch him at a different point in his life when the evil's pretty much given up on Myers. The evil has realized that this body is useless now. So we need to find another body. So it's one of those type movies, right? By the way, guys, I'm using my Zoom H1 here. I might return it, if I'm being honest, okay? I might return it because my other mic, let me show you my Zoom H1. Did I say H1? This is H4n. I'm sorry. So this is my H1, which I've been using for the last like 8 years. And it's one of those situations where it's like, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. Every time, like I tried to plug my lab into that, I don't think it sounded as good as this. I don't know, maybe my settings are off on that thing. Maybe I just don't feel like trying to learn it all. It could be me. I don't know. But, I mean, my sound on my reviews, when I have the levels right, to me, sounds perfect with this. So, I don't know. It's $200 and I'm not even really using it. I'm trying to use it for this because when I'm recording, I'm using my shotgun mic here. And because I'm like 6 feet away from the shotgun mic, I might get a little echo. So we'll see. If you hear this in this video, then I was happy with the sound. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Yep. There's Corey and Allison and Lori. Lori sees it right there. She sees something going on. She doesn't trust it. You know, she's been around this for so many years, so she knows what to look for. There's Levi. He's just kind of chilling out. I finished my Zaxby's. Got my sweet tea. I've been trying to, like, you ever, like, you watch movies and then you have this stack of freaking movies just spaced, like I'll have them, like, next to my TV, and then my TV's upstairs in my studio. And so I'm trying to gather all my, these are non-horror movies, you know, X2, freaking, I went through all the non-MCU movies, and I ranked them, like, probably, 2 months ago. So now I'm trying to get everything back where it needs to go. If you look in my living room, I don't have a DVD shelf or anything like that. I keep everything hidden. I don't like seeing it out. It's just a choice. So, unless it's in my studio. So that's where I keep all my movies. This thing's heavy. Because these are all non-horror movies, for the most part. I think that you might see a couple of them creep in there, like Split. But yeah. You got that. Another whole thing of Blu-rays. There's Lord of the Rings trilogy. You can hear me grunting this because this thing's so heavy. And these are mostly like my 4Ks. And I got some steel books in there. I just did a video too on physical media. I put it on Drumdums Extra. Be sure to subscribe to Drumdums Extra. Tons of content going over there, guys, okay? Can't stress it enough. But just yesterday I put a video, a clip from my last live stream talking about physical media and how in Australia they're doing away with Disney Blu-rays and 4Ks. They're going strictly to streaming. So I mean that's a first of, that's scary times. So you can hear me breathing heavy because I'm trying to get, my argument is fighting against me. Because you're not breathing heavy when you select digital, right? I gotta be fair about this, but I still love my freaking collection. Oh yeah, here's nice view from the stairs. right? See, the one thing I love about my house is I have the stairs from Halloween. I have these imported. I'm just kidding. But it's kind of the same type setup when you walk in the Myers house. Like if the front door's behind me, the stairs would be right here to the left. So mine's kind of the opposite. The stairs are directly to the right, and then you can almost see Myers standing at the top of the stairs, you know? And going up here, we'll go into the studio. It's been a while since I took you guys into the studio. I mean, you see the studio in my reviews, but we don't like, you know, dig deep or anything. There's the welcome to Haddonfield. And I got the mood lighting on. See, I could turn this light switch on. Boom. Yeah, I could put more light in here. But I like to set the mood. So, yeah. But I got lights all throughout here. You know, if anybody was in here and I wasn't here and they wanted to turn something on, I'd feel upset because it's not always easy. Because how I turn these red lights on is I have a power strip back here. And I have like 3 or 4 power strips just in this room. Now here's where you can see physical media out and about, you know, up in my shelves. I can't talk today, Jesus. But look what I got right there. I got Halloween Ends. This is a constant play on here when I'm up here, I'm like cleaning or something, or I'm getting ready to record. Always got to have some kind of vinyl playing, but love my vinyl collection. Love my vinyl collection. Yeah, and there's the cover for Halloween Ends. There's Beth sent me that. Cars and this Hotter Than Hell. A lot of you guys send me, there's Sleep Token. Send me a lot of cool vinyls. Footloose, love that soundtrack. So anything that's out here is something that I've been playing, you know? So I need to put them back in there eventually. Here's something right here, the Crow, right? That's a Crow action figure. Somebody sent that to me quite a few years ago. And can anybody tell me what that hat's from? Can anybody tell me that is from Over the Top? And then the Jason mask from Carrie's Corner of Horror on Instagram. She made that. That is a really nice Jason mask. So, Brandon Tabato, look at that. Made that custom Scream mask. It's weathered, it's decayed, it's long before Scream 6. But yeah, this is the studio. You know, my wife painted that. Still have it. My Hulk figure, Matt Register, made that for me with his 3D printer. And here's my, if I turn on this power strip, it lights this up and you can see that's a Myers from Halloween Kills. Yeah. And I have my remotes here because I got a couple LED lighting strips. Yeah, and there's my 32-inch TV. I love that thing because now I don't have to lug a TV in here when I'm doing like commentaries and whatnot. Oh, I was just talking about this too the other day. The holographic cover, limited edition, DVD. Love that thing. And there's where I sit when I do my streaming. There's Elvira. Got my Kane Hodder sign, Jason mask back there. This is where I set my computer when I stream. I just cut this piece of wood, set it at a height that I thought was perfect for my height. And then when I sit here, I'm looking directly at my screen. It's nice. So that way it does, from the camera's angle, it doesn't look like I'm looking too high up or too high down. It's like perfectly centered to my nose. So let's go back down there. Let's see where we are. This is a movie that's pretty fast paced. I mean, we might be at the fight with Laurie and Michael right now. Who knows? Oh, so here's the douchebag. So they must have had the scene in the diner. You know, somebody posted on Twitter the other day the idea of like an old decrepit Myers hiding in the sewers waiting to kill his victims is creepy as fuck. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, I get that. I like that. It's not Myers out and about roaming, at least not at this point. He's just waiting. Nice shot there. Like, can you imagine if they went forward with a franchise of Corey as the killer? Now, the people that seem to hate this movie, they like to, I guess every little thing that you can pick on, they just pounce on it. And of course, when Myers is like getting the jitters when he kills Mulaney, they basically state that he is jizzing. I think the writer even said it's, I don't think he used that word, but it is like a rush. And that's all it is. It's Michael having a rush, feeling a rush from being able to kill. You know, because you can look at it as like an addiction, actually. You know, Michael's a drug addict. He needs to kill, right? By the way, there's not a dry spot in this movie whatsoever. It just moves and moves and moves. It never stops. It never lets up, you know? I think this movie could have been, you know, 10 minutes longer if it wanted to, and I'd be just fine. You know, it's like Corey's learning now how to properly kill. I love the look of Myers in this movie too, you know? Is there an Ends NECA figure yet? I want to get that, definitely. This right here, this is the scene where Corey's about to be fully taken over. You know, it's a situation where, like, once you have committed murder, then there's really no turning back. You know, and I know he killed the homeless guy earlier, and I think that got him about halfway there. And so now, after this, he's pretty much completely gone. I think this is pretty much the beginning of the final act of the movie. You know? Just a beautifully shot movie, though. Like, I think both the previous two movies, they both had kind of a neutral tone throughout. You know, I know the night scenes in the first movie were much more atmospheric, but I'm talking about 2018. But this one right here, day and night, there's just so much variety in terms of the cinematography. You know, just a beautiful movie. And she knows something's up, something's wrong. Can you imagine that? Violent, I mean, really violent too, you know? There's no beating around the bush here. He is fully evil now. And she, you know, maybe this is kind of a moral lesson too, because, you know, she's trying to hook up with the doctor because he's rich. I don't know. And then here comes the guy, Myers. Man, Myers is the king. Even in Ends, he's the king. You know, and don't mistake it, or don't mistake my love for this movie to be that I don't care about Myers. Absolutely not. That's quite the opposite. That's a shot that we used in the documentary we did for this movie. An irresistible shot. Oh, I like that too when he's got the hand on the glass. But man, I'm having a really good time discussing this movie with you guys. Now, I'll say it right here, okay? Because, oh my God, hold on. Boy Harsher, Jesus. This movie's sexy. I even posted like on Killer Flicks, like what are some of like the sexiest horror movies? And of course this one got mentioned a few times. I think I even mentioned it too, but it's a sexy movie. It really is. And usually you don't think that with a Halloween movie, although Halloween 4 has a couple sexy moments in it too. But just the overall tone of this movie feels sexy, you know? The music feels sexy. Oh yeah, and there's the tower, the radio tower. Remember all those YouTube videos about the radio tower and how it was gonna like be a pivotal part in the final, you know? And that's the thing about YouTube videos and theories, you know? That's what they are. They're just theories. Okay, you know, almost swearing that this is it. This is what's going to happen. You know, this is the truth. And then when the movie came out, it wasn't the case at all. And I'm not just talking about the radio tower, but there was like a hobo Myers that was supposed to, you know, that was one of the rumors because of this action figure that came out. And I would have been shocked if there would have been a freaking hobo Myers. I mean, we were close to there because of him being in the sewers, but no. But yeah, what I was going to say was the the documentary. I took them down. I took down the Scream one because I got the strike, but then I also took down the Halloween one. I didn't get a strike or anything on that one, but I just don't want to take any more chances. But those documentaries are still out there. They still exist. If you want them, then if you go to my Patreon page, that's where I put them. Okay, they're not on YouTube anymore. So, yeah, that's the only way you can get them. Right, buddy? Levi likes Halloween Ends. So this is the scene where Lori and Corey are talking, but this is all in Corey's mind. Lori's not really there. And I think that's just further proof that the evil is, if it's not fully taken over, it's pretty damn close. And it's playing tricks on his mind. And it's almost like the evil is telling him that he needs to kill Lori. You know, that's the meaning of that scene. She's not really there, but the evil makes him think she's there. And it's like the evil's telling him she has to die. I like that this movie has a lot of scenes that are debatable, right? It's not so out there in the front. You can kind of form your own conclusion. I mean, when this movie first came out, I mean, Twitter, there were so many different theories about what some of it meant. You know, some people took Myers to be, you know, the only source of evil, and this movie doesn't present that at all. It's more about evil being a thing all its own, and it just happens to be in Myers, and then it goes into Corey. But this story centers more around evil than it does one person. You know, be it Corey, be it Michael. It's about evil, you know, and there's even, you know, parallels to the previous two movies. You could look at the very first movie, and it's really about evil and how it takes over Haddonfield. In the second movie, evil causes Haddonfield to turn on itself, to completely go chaotic, go crazy. These aren't like Friday the 13th movies. And I don't say that to say they're better than Friday the 13th or worse. I'm just saying it's a different story. And if you choose to, you can dive a little bit deeper into the themes of the Halloween franchise, you know. Even going farther back to like the Thorn trilogy and even the first few movies. Evil has always been there. And if you think back, Loomis has even stated it a few times about evil. Yeah, he said Michael, but there's been times when he's talked about just evil in general. You know, evil took over the boy. So, yeah, maybe that's just why I love the Halloween franchise so much. Not just this trilogy. Not only is this probably my favorite scene in the movie, it's one of the coolest sequences in the entire franchise. And at every single facet of this scene is pure perfection. And I know I sound a little overly dramatic about this, but my God, what a fucking scene. Listen to that music too. You know, you can definitely see the Christine influence in this scene. I mean, even down to the truck, you know? She's getting killed by an automobile. And we haven't even seen the Myers mask yet. But, you know, this is the first time that anybody other than Michael Myers has wore the mask. Actually, I take that back. I mean, if you go back through the franchise, there's been other cases where somebody wore Myers' mask. You know, I think Scout Taylor Compton wore it in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But the one that's been on Myers' head, maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments. Wow, what a fucking scene. Jesus. No wonder I love this movie. Worst movie ever made? Are you kidding me? People have literally said this is the worst movie ever made. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm about to lose my mind. I'm about to lose my mind. Okay? Jesus. What a scene. You know, maybe it's the music. I get so emotional with the music. There's the radio tower in the background. I listen to this track when I run. I seriously do. Look at this. Oof. I guess this would be a fuck around and find out moment, right? That's what happens when you keep messing with Corey. This is an anti-bullying movie for sure. Oh! I don't condone it. Damn. That's gotta hurt. Iconic shot right there. So they just played that photo that had Lori and Annie and Linda. And what a nice moment. What a nice moment. And it's kind of cool that this is the last movie in the Laurie Strode saga, and to kind of tie, you know, bring it all the way back to the very first movie with that photo. Kind of remembering the past and remembering those friends that Laurie lost so long ago, you know, over 40 years ago. It's just a nice moment. It's a nice touch. I think David Gordon Green, I think he really, really respected the first movie, and even all of the sequels. You know, there's so many little Easter eggs throughout his trilogy. You know, I mean, you could even say the tow truck there. That might even be like a little nod to Resurrection. You know, because there's like the tow truck in Resurrection. There's just little clues that you can look for if you choose to, but they're not like so obvious. At least most of them aren't. Some of them are, like the Halloween 3 masks and whatnot. But I think Ends had the least amount of those, you know, intentional Easter eggs to the sequels, right? So, but yeah, we're getting ready to get into the scene where Corey goes to Laurie's house to kill her, and this was a crazy moment. I remember watching it for the first time and thinking that, you know, I literally almost thought, is Laurie thinking about taking her own life? You know, but I'm glad they didn't go that route. That would have been. Can you imagine if Laurie Strode killed herself? Yeah, I don't think that would have went over well. I mean, this movie's controversial already. Can you imagine if they put that in there? Forget it. Yeah, it'd be insane. I like how quiet this scene is. It's just like the calm before the storm. And I'll say this right now, too. The showdown between Laurie and Myers, I think it's really good. I think it's even better than the showdown in H2O. I think I prefer her chopping his head off, even though that wasn't supposed to be his head in H2O. But, I think they were just wanting to get rid of the body, and there's no possible way it could ever come back, which is kind of funny because, like, in woo! That scared the shit out of me. God. I was gonna say in Dream Master, a dog pissed on the ground and brought Freddy back. So what? I guess she ain't fucking playing. Yeah, Laurie does not hesitate. You know, I give Laurie Strode shit all the time, but in her later years, she definitely doesn't fuck around. That's cool too. How she got rid of the bullets. She's like, I'm here. Come get me. You know. Now, to be fair, here's one thing I will say. Her reaction to Laurie. She sees that he's wearing a jumpsuit, and she sees that the Myers mask is literally right next to him. Now, I think she should have been able to put 2 and 2 together, which she does eventually on the road, but maybe it was just an initial emotional reaction. I don't know. But the showdown is about to begin. And that's another thing, too. I know you guys were upset about the marketing of this movie, but what did you want? Did you want this entire movie to be a big fight between Laurie and Michael? You know? I don't know. I mean, they gave you that. They gave you a final fight between the two. So I think it's like having your cake and eating it too, right? I think if Myers wouldn't have died, or at least he didn't die the way he died in this movie, I think people would have been more accepting. I honestly believe that. Because even I was pretty pissed off when I left the theater. Just because of my love for Myers. Iconic shot right here. Nice. And all you guys complaining about Corey taking the mask from Myers, Myers doesn't have any problem taking care of Corey right here. Whatsoever. Yep, it's about to snap that neck. Now, all this build up for Corey for him to die like that, I I think it does leave the notion, because they didn't show him being taken away in a body bag or anything, it does leave the notion that is he dead? Because, you know, the evil is in him. So maybe he's not dead, you know? Maybe it leaves that idea there. I like that Jamie Lee Curtis stated that she didn't want this to look like your typical Hollywood fight. She wanted it to be very down and dirty, aggressive, not looking like she's like a, you know, a martial artist or anything like that. Just very brutal. And I think they achieved that, you know? I think it's well choreographed. You know, there's not like cameras up in the armpits and whatnot. You could see what was going on. And I think it was believable because it wasn't Laurie Strode beating him with her strength. She had to use her brain, right? And keep in mind, too, this is a Myers that's not at full capacity. You know, as much shit as I give Laurie Strode, she really did nothing in Halloween Kills. So, you know, if this is the final movie in the trilogy, I think it's fitting to go out with a final fight between her and Myers and make it believable. You know, 'cause she does get her ass handed to her during the fight too. You know, it's back and forth for sure. I remember watching this fight, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Myers to win. I did. Let me know down in the comments which, like, did you want Myers to win? But thinking back on it, I think they served Laurie well. You know, after watching it a few times, you know, after that initial shock of it, it is nice that Laurie was able to win, to finally win, you know, even though she won an H2O, which that's another whole conversation that we could have about Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. And, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is a very bankable name. You got to give her credit. She's the one that kept this franchise afloat multiple times. I think Malik knows that going forward in the franchise, this movie is probably not going to make nearly as much as Halloween 2018 did, and maybe even Kills. All three of these movies were a success at the box office, and even the last two were on Peacock. So I think that's mostly because of Jamie Lee Curtis, and I think as much as I want her gone, you have to accept that the franchise, it's not going to make as much money as it did with Jamie Lee Curtis. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I do think people eventually they'll want Halloween back, you know? Love this scene right here. Holy shit, this scene right here is so good. Nice little montage. Love how they showed young Laurie, you know? And then here comes Allison to help. All right, so I have a few comments that I'm going to read on my comment section for Drumdums Extra, because I posted something in the community page. If you want a shout out, you're going to get a shout out. So we'll do that right now. Okay, yeah, here's what I posted. Halloween Ends, want a shout out, you get it. This is over on Drumdums Extra, okay? But this video is going to be on the main Drumdums page. All right, so we got Dave Death Ray. My vision is really bad, so I love Halloween Ends and can't wait to catch the DWatch. Rowan Campbell's performance is mesmerizing, and Andy is at her best and makes Allison feel more real than before. The movie, the music sucks you right in, and man, gotta love that Season of the Witch nod on the opening credits. I knew we were getting something different once I saw that. Happy watching, Lee. Man, Davey, I tell you, you just freaking nailed every point about this movie. Well done. Damn, I've been craving a new DWatch for a while now. So hype. Love Halloween Ends. And that is Tripod Detergent. Yeah, me too. It feels like it's been a while since I did one. Got the procession going on right now. I love this track. Great track. Cinderella says, I understand the uproar this movie causes, but hey, I enjoy it for what it is. Putting it on right now. Exactly. And I'm not trying to convince anybody to like it. You know, this is kind of just me celebrating this movie. That's what this is. Okay. Super Pre-Fan says, love ends. Love that they tried something new. Corey's sitting on the floor killing the doctor in the scarecrow mask. Creepy as fuck. Yeah, that is a creepy scene. I understand why this movie is so controversial, but I actually enjoyed it. But wasn't a fan of the ending, and that is Stephen Riggins. And then the last comment says Robert Schumann. He says the movie's okay. Really like the final fight between Laurie and Michael. Yep. So there you go, guys. And I don't have the heart to show you Myers getting completely obliterated in the metal compactor. But this has been a really, really fun DWatch. I got to get to editing. So anyway, take care of each other, okay? Be sure to come over to Killer Flicks where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me coffee. And you guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out.